beautiful, historical, and unique architecture. Unique restaurants with good food. It is the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv. Kyiv is the capital of Ukraine, and it's located in the center of the country. About 3 million people lived in the city before the Russian invasion. After the long train trip from Ivano-Frankivsk in western Ukraine, I arrived in the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv. It took me about 9 hours. The view is from my hotel in the center of the city. There is the Kyiv Opera Theater beneath. And there's the Kyiv TV tower in the distance. About 11 at night, air raid sirens started to sound across the city. It's the first time since I heard in the review on the first day. It sounded for about 5 minutes or more. It sucks the sirens sound at night when people start to go to bed. Currently, the city is under martial law, so people can't go out from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. As you can see, there's no one outside. Next day, I was at the Opera Theater, which I can see from my hotel window. A nearby statue is completely covered, and it's impossible to know what's inside. This is the Golden Gate. It was the main gate in the 11th century fortifications of Kyiv. This beautiful church is the St.Sophia Cathedral. It is inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was also built in the 11th century. In the distance, on the same street, you can see the St. Michael's Golden Domed Monastery. Sadly, the original cathedral that was founded in the 12th century was demolished by the stupid Soviet authorities in the 1930s. The current one was reconstructed and opened in 1999. There are many anti-tank obstacles known as hedgehogs in the city. This is the St. Andrew's Church, which is an Orthodox church built in the 18th century. It's located on a steep hill called Andrew's Descent. There are many souvenir shops along the street, and it's kind of fun to walk. As I descended the steep hill, I got to a district called Vozdvizhenka. The district appears like a hidden gem when you turn to another street at the halfway down the hill. There are many colorful buildings that were built in the architectural styles popular in the late 19th century. Since the district is a part of the most expensive real estate in the city, it's said lots of buildings are vacant. But still, there are some restaurants, cafes, and companies' offices here. And that building looks like a castle in the Disneyland. Not far from the Vozdvizhenka, there's a Japanese restaurant called Naoshi. There are many lanterns, and they make a good atmosphere. This is a green tea with sakura. And I ordered a miso ramen. Actually, it looks like the real one in Japan. The current district is called Podil. Since it's one of the oldest neighborhoods of Kyiv, you can find many old beautiful churches. A visit here is like strolling through the fascinating open-air museum. The neighborhood extends along the riverbank of Dnipro River. And that white building is the Kyiv river station. When I was walking the street, an air raid siren started to sound nearby, and it was so loud as you can hear. This is a promenade where lots of people come, especially on the weekends. Many old buildings stand along the promenade, and it looks like a picture. There are many cafes, shops, and restaurants. Since it's the wartime, it seemed to me that there weren't many people. This is the Kontraktova square, the square of contracts. It is an important economic, cultural, and transport center of the Podil. There's a metro station nearby. And you can look up the beautiful St. Andrew's Church. After a long walk, I came back to St.Sophia Cathedral. I think both St.Sophia Cathedral and St. Michael's Golden Domed Monastery look the most beautiful in the evening, as those golden cupolas, which look like onions, are glowing. It's the next morning, or it's rather almost at noon. It's actually very lovely to start the day seeing those beautiful opera theater and Golden Gate. Walking a lovely street nearby, and I got to a fancy exotic restaurant called Mon Cher. It is a Lebanese restaurant. The interior is also very exotic, and I felt like I was in another country. Not seeing a menu, I ordered a lunch menu, and then, unexpectedly, I got borscht, potatoes, and a cutlet, which are not Lebanese, but Ukrainian. Well, each dish was very tasty, and I could be satisfied with those gorgeous dishes. But I wanted to eat Lebanese cuisine, so I ordered more. And here they are, baba ganoush and an oriental coffee. Baba ganoush is made from aubergines blended up with lemon juice, tahini, which is a paste made from sesame seeds, and sea salt. I ate too much, so I decided to walk a lot. Actually, Kyiv is a good place for walking, as there are many steep streets. After an hour walk from the Mon Cher, I got to a spot where Russians attacked with a missile on 26th of February 2022. A movie in which this residential building being hit by a shelling went viral around the world at the beginning of the war. It had been exactly 5 months when I went there. I took a bus and moved to another place nearby. It's the Babin Yar. The place is known as a site of massacres carried out by Nazi Germany's forces during the World War II. And in 2022, this site was also struck by Russians while they were trying to destroy the Kyiv TV tower. As a result, 5 people were killed here. From the evening, I had a meeting with my Ukrainian friends, so I came to the place where the St. Andrew's Church is located. Here's a restaurant called Kanapa. I ordered a rose hip lemonade. Rose hip is the part of the fruit that grows on the blossom of a wild rose. It was very tasty and soothing. This soup is the green borscht. I was caught by surprise when I saw it. Compared to the borscht we know, it was a bit sour. It didn't taste like a normal borscht, but it was delicious. This dish is stewed beef cheeks. The meat was very soft and mild. It melted in my mouth. Prime meat. At last we had a salo, which is lard, covered in chocolate. It was like a salty chocolate because of the lard. I liked it. After the dinner, my friends took me to a hidden gem in Kyiv. There's a beautiful view with the St. Andrew's Church and the historical area of the city. It was a stunning view, as you can see. Next morning, I came to the Independence Square in Kyiv. This is the place where the history is always being created. Every time I visit this place, something is changed here. Those flags show from which country people came to fight in Ukraine for democracy and freedom. And of course, there's the Japanese flag. As far as I know, there are about 10 Japanese fighters in Ukraine. And those flags show how many soldiers died for Ukraine. It's really sad to see, as there are so many of them. This is the main street in Kyiv, Chreshchatyk. It's wide and looks almost like a square. On the same day, I had a train back to Lviv. As Ukraine is a huge country, the distance between cities is always big, so it takes a long time. But views are beautiful. You can enjoy lovely Ukrainian countrysides from a window. The next day, it was the last day in Ukraine. I stopped by a cafe called Lviv Croissants, cherry croissant and Americano. My bus departed from Lviv railway station. That bus trip to Krakow took me long. The bus stopped near the border for a few hours, and also at the border for another few hours. Well, that's all for this video.